Folks, welcome to 2026. We did know this is one of the last, I guess, pop culture roundups. We just got a couple more until 2026. Welcome to your Monday, to your pop culture roundup. With us, as always, is the co-host of Snarkbait. She's fresh off brunch. We're recording this earlier on Sunday because we have to go to a parenting class pretty soon. The one, the only Sophie Ross Brooks. Sophie, thank you so much for changing times.
Hi, of course, not a problem whatsoever. Anything for you.
Yeah, well, I'm curious. We do have to go to this parenting class, which I don't even know. Like, do we have to take a test? Like, are they going to say we can't be parents if we don't pass this class?
Yeah, like, how does that work? Wait, did you ever see that? Was it a TikTok of a couple that thought they were going to a new parenting class, but they show up and it was all, like, elderly people, and they realized that they accidentally signed up for a new grandparent class?
Yeah, I mean, that would be great, too. I mean, I really don't. I mean, we're paying to do this. We didn't, you don't have to get a license to have a kid, it turns out. So we are paying to do this class. So I'm really curious what this will all be about. So that's what I have to look forward to this Sunday. But there is so much going on right now, and I don't even really know where to start. And I haven't even talked to Sophie about what she watched this week.
Oh,
so
I watched it all.
Okay, we can throw.
I watched it.
Okay, well, let's start with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives reunion. Now, this was something I was so excited to watch. And I think the first 5 minutes, I was like, hell yeah. And then it really went south really quickly. Why did you not like it?
Stassi was bad. And, like, I know that it's not entirely Stassi's fault because I think
It's
she
not.
was just reading, like, from, like, a bulleted list of questions.
A teleprompter. She had the in-ear mic you could see where they were feeding her the whole time.
Right. But, like, she didn't really do a good job of, A, letting them speak or, go on with the conflict that they were not even trying to resolve, but, the conversations that they were having. And I know that, again, she was probably getting cued, like they filmed for 12 hours. I'm sure it's like, okay, move on. But, like, from what we saw, she was cutting them off, not letting them finish, not digging in more to some of the more interesting topics, and then actually kicking the women off the stage to let Dakota, like, no one gives a fuck about dad talk.
Okay, so this is where it's not Stassi's fault, because what they did was that there's a lot of, like, what I call bits. You don't need bits when these ladies are ready to go. These ladies have had so much trauma that it could fill 30 reunions, and then they're doing these bits where they also are like, hey guys, if you can't afford to do the reunion, just don't do the reunion. I don't want to see a fucking Dunkin' Donuts representative on there where Stassi has to go get a mocha choca latte when they're talking about somebody getting touched when they were younger. It is so weird and bizarre. But this is like, when you have this good of, like, content, you do not need to have, like, well, we're going to kick the ladies off stage so Dakota can come on. I don't know what they're doing, but I think they've highly overestimated how much anybody gives a shit about dad talk, except for TikTok. Leave dad talk on TikTok, but I feel like they're setting this up for a spin-off series because we know dad talk's going to have an episode of Vanderpump Villa.
God, no one wants that.
Yes, but that's what I'm saying.
For that.
It feels like they're trying to just promote other projects. Like, they're trying to promote Vanderpump Villa. Stassi has her own reality show coming to Hulu called Stassi Says, which they were filming this weekend at Emo Night. Katie Maloney's a main cast member of Stassi Says. So they're filming that. You have Marciano, who's, made a really weird name for himself. But at the end of the day, I just want to hear these ladies talk about their own experiences. On top of, they are filming season 4 as they were filming this. So they had to keep a lid on so many things. And to your point, they did say they filmed for 12 hours. That's a waste. Like, if you're filming for 12 hours and that's what we get out of it. Yeah. And I'm not saying that Nick Viall was a good host, but if you can split the difference between Nick and Stassi, then you have something. But if not, just don't do the reunion because you're going to air the new, I think it comes out in February of 2026.
Yep. I think that's the problem, is that the seasons are so close together. It's like, okay, then just don't do a reunion.
Yes. The series is so good. You don't need it.
You don't need it because we're going to get the new season very shortly, thankfully. I mean, I love that this is the one show, like, on the planet right now where we're getting new seasons on, like, a normal schedule.
And so that's it exactly, is that with Bravo shows, it's different because there's like a 7-month downtime between shooting and reunion. Yeah. So that actually makes it interesting because so much has changed. When you're currently in that, like, there is no way you're going to be able to even show the audience what you talked about those other 10 hours because it's going to inform what they would see on the 4th season. And they want to keep that secret. So I think this is one of those things that they were pressured into doing. And now that they might realize after the feedback. And like I said, I don't think it was Stassi's fault, but it was just so weird.
It was partially her fault. She was not good.
But think about the over-seriousness tone when Nick was on it to the goofiness that Stassi had.
I didn't watch when Nick hosted because I hate, you guys know how I feel about that.
Wait, Sophie, breaking news. Do you have an issue with Nick Viall?
Oh, crazy, right? So no, I didn't watch that, but I think that Stassi cared so much about being like one of the gals and like fitting in. It just like the tone was off. I don't think that Hulu knows how to do reality TV yet. Like I
think they know how to do. I think they know how to do. They're starting to know how to do the actual television show.
They're just with the Mormon wives. I don't think they know how to do reality TV in general. They certainly don't know how to do reunions. And I know that Andy Cohen can't host every single reunion of every single reality show that isn't on Bravo. But like, how can we?
But God, he's got to feel good. He's got to feel good at some of like people saying like, oh God, it makes me appreciate how Andy Cohen. Yep. Somebody said in a post, they're like, give it to somebody like Tan France who hosts the Selling Sunset reunions. I'm like, those are horrible too. Those are bad. No offense to Tan. Those are not good.
Tan France is not good.
I think it's also the people that you're focusing on in the shows. You're not going to get a good Selling Sunset reunion because they don't come off as real people even on the show.
Yeah.
But I don't know. It was very interesting, and I just feel like it was not needed. But it was so sad because it was such an opportunity. Like I was so excited to watch that reunion, and when Stassi said, I have a great perspective because I was on reality television, I was like, oh, this is perfect. And then it just went downhill really quickly.
Well, it's like, why couldn't they, if they are going to commit to this whole reunion thing, then commit to 3 episodes. 3 reunion like, you need to give it its moment that it deserves. Otherwise, just don't do one. And like, this was like, as soon as it ended, I was like, that was it. And like, half of it was about Dakota. Like, I don't give a fuck about Dakota.
At first, when they kept flashing backstage and the men were like, fuck you, no, fuck you. And I was kind of like, well, that's kind of interesting and funny. But then they would make up immediately. And I will say, I would love every reunion, no matter what show it is, to start off with a group prayer. I was like, what is the point of a group prayer if you're then immediately telling each other to fuck off? Like, that kind of hypocritical nature is so funny to me when you start with a group prayer and they go really nasty. What is your, like, I don't think I'm insane, but like this Demi, like she is floundering in so many ways and it is so dangerous. The narrative she is pushing about abuse and trauma that I've never really seen somebody go this hard and be so wrong. And yet you really can't call her out because she's saying, believe women, our experience, she's speaking for all women when she makes these really bizarre claims. What do you think?
Yeah. I mean, when you're trying to do the whole like trauma Olympics thing, that's when we can say that's wrong. Even if Demi was assaulted, in fact, like it is just not appropriate under any circumstances to compare your trauma to someone else's, especially like so many of these women have. Macy has been, trigger warning, like beaten. Like Michaela was sexually assaulted.
6 years old, touched.
6 years old. Like it's just, there's no comparison. And the fact that she was trying to prove that she is the most, or that it's anything similar to what they went through, is just so inappropriate and so disgusting and so re-traumatizing for some of these women. It's like, get her off my stage. I also feel bad for Demi in a way. And I feel like...
In what way?
I think that she herself has gone through trauma. I think that, she was super young when her first husband married her. Her current husband knew her when she was 8 years old. Like, I think Demi has been through some shit, and I think she hasn't resolved it, and that's why she is the way she is. That's just like looking at it charitably. I think that there is an explanation for why she is this way, but it doesn't make it okay. Like, I think that she needs some time off between, if her husband really cared about her, he would say, hey, we need some time off between seasons so that you can heal and work on yourself.
Well, I do wonder at this point how much they're getting paid to do this. And if you want to talk about trauma, I would imagine all of these ladies, but especially Demi, is going to experience very real trauma just by the amount of people that are coming at her. Like, we're talking about her in a certain way, but I imagine people are in her DMs, in her comments, and I bet it's pretty gnarly. Now, to me, that is another level of trauma that you're going to experience because people genuinely feel wronged by Demi. So it's this weird parasocial thing that I think is going to get really bad. And at this point, she's calling out production. So I think at this point, production and her need to come to an agreement not to continue her filming after the 4th season. I just don't think it's healthy at this point for anybody involved.
I completely agree. And I mean, I don't know. She took it out of her bio. Like, it seems
Yeah, but
like,
Housewives do that every season at the end, like when they're playing
she could
games.
be, like, negotiating or whatever.
Exactly.
But I think that for everyone's sake, she needs some time away from the show. So hopefully they make that decision for her if she can't make it for herself.
Well, it is interesting because everybody's getting different projects. I mean, Taylor Frankie Paul is the new Bachelorette. Whitney Leavitt has just announced she's going to be on Chicago, like we thought. Everybody's kind of getting, Macy has a New York Times best-selling book. They're all doing things, and I just do wonder how, will Mom Talk survive? Mom Talk really isn't a thing. It's like they were people that pushed content together. They were all young Utah moms. But even as we see the flip side of that with Whitney on Salt Lake City, all the husbands usually end in MLMs. And I don't also see that we're promoting dad talk when most of these men religiously talk down to their wives. It's like, why are we trying to make them stronger when this is the one outlet where these women have proven way more successful than these men could ever be? So why don't we let these women have this and share their real experiences? And why do we have to keep these men at the forefront? They should be a back seat, just like the men should be on Housewives.
Does a single person watch the show because of Jacob or Jace? No.
Yeah.
No,
well,
that pissed me off so much when Stassi kicked them off the stage. I'm sorry.
Yeah, but that's not her choice. That was a bit by production.
I know that was a production choice. Either way, it pissed me the fuck off.
It did. It was so stupid and so what a way to
And it took up 20, almost half of the reunion.
Well, but that's when you realize these are still children because the girls are like, what? Oh my God. If you were if Bethany Frankel that had been done to last year, she'd be like, what the fuck are you guys doing, you idiots? It's like one of these women need to stand up and go, what are you guys doing to us? We don't need these games. Yeah. Well,
what are you saying? And then walks right in.
I will say Taylor is wild, though, because it did come out that her and Dakota, she was sexting Dakota the night before. I'm like, this is a weirdly unhealthy relationship that so many of us have been in. But I didn't realize it was still at that place where they're sexting each other. Because then he's going to be a part in the Bachelorette season. It has to be.
He's going to show up.
Oh, 100%.
Oh my God. So toxic. And that's why also it's I love the idea of Taylor as Bachelorette, but it's is she really ready for this?
No, 100%.
No.
This is what I say is it's everybody's going to watch. It's going to be a huge hit, but I really get scared because mental health wise, I don't think most people are prepared for this, let alone Taylor Frankie Paul. And I mean that as a compliment. Is it this doesn't all of a sudden going on reality television doesn't help your mental health. It's it doesn't make it better. It makes it worse.
Yep.
Anyways, speaking of your favorite Nick Viall, I'm sure you saw this week. Speaking of Secret Lives of Mormon Wives, I saw this all over my TikTok. Man, I love this. One thing happens on a Nick Viall podcast, and then I saw legitimately, I think 100 videos because Nick's wife, Natalie, was talking about Whitney Leavitt going to Chicago on Broadway, and a lot of people took this as mom shaming because Natalie said, I'm curious how Whitney, and maybe this is just a human level, mom level question on how she's managing both, right? Because right now her career has skyrocketed. Dancing with the Stars for 3 or 4 months? I know she has kids in school level. Maybe they're homeschooled. I don't know. But to be in LA for 4 months doing Dancing with the Stars and then to now shift to New York City, that just takes so much of her time. How is she managing, prioritizing being a mom and her kids, who I imagine have some sort of schedule and routine? And people were like, what the fuck? Especially coming from Natalie when they have a young one and they have
They're sitting in a podcast studio. They are sitting in a podcast. Where's their daughter right now? They are sitting in a fucking podcast studio.
And the thing is, Connor, Whitney's husband, has made it very clear is that he is taking over a lion's share of the parenting duties, which, by the way, good on them. That means they actually have a communication and a partnership. Why do women have to put their dreams aside? They have to take a back seat?
They would never say that about a man. Oh my God, I rant about this so much on Dark Bait tomorrow. So stay tuned if you want more because...
Yeah, please. And by the way, that'll be great because they have a lot more language about Nick that I don't really, but this came in, I was like, this is fascinating.
You guys, this pissed me. They would never say this about a man. Never, never. God forbid a woman.
You know what they would say? They would give a man praise. They would say, look, he can do it all. He can do it all. I am here once again to talk about our friends over at Quince. You know how much I love Quince. In fact, last night at the Jeff Lewis Live Show, I was wearing my blue Quince sports jacket, and it looked amazing. So, cool, cold mornings, holiday plans. This is when we all need our wardrobes to just work, and that's why I'm always all about Quince. They make it easy to look sharp, feel good, and find gifts that last. From Mongolian cashmere sweaters to Italian wool coats, Quince pieces are crafted from premium materials and built to hold up without the luxury markup. Quince makes the essentials every guy needs. Mongolian cashmere sweaters for $50, Italian wool coats that look and feel designer, and denim and chinos that fit just right. And their outerwear lineup is no joke as well. You got down jackets, wool top coats, and leather styles that are built to last. Each piece is made from premium materials by trusted factories that meet rigorous standards for craftsmanship and ethical production. And they cut out the middleman and traditional markups. That's how they do it. Quince delivers the same quality as luxury brands at a fraction of the price. So, get your wardrobe sorted and your gift list handled with Quince. Don't wait. Go to quince.com/sobad for free shipping on your order and 365-day returns. Now available in Canada too. That's QUINCE.com/sobad. Free shipping and 365-day returns. Quince.com/sobad.
Oh, well, how about when Nick left his pregnant wife to go on special forces? He said, "Oh, I want to show my daughter that, like, you know, that she can do this one day too. Like, I want to be an inspiration to my daughter." That was his response when he left his pregnant wife to go on special forces. But Whitney's not allowed to chase success, chase her dreams, make money to support her family, be the breadwinner. Like, it is so fucking backwards and mom shamey. And like, look at them sitting in a fucking podcast booth while their daughter is who knows where.
But isn't there, I mean, like I said, I don't listen to their podcast. They get the best guests of all time. Like, I mean, really, truly. But isn't it like his podcast, like therapy speak or something like that? Like he therapizes and he like
Ask Nick. So part of their I don't listen to it either, but from what I've gathered, it's them talking about pop culture and reality TV. And then part of it is Ask Nick, where he sits back with his smug fucking face, with his little cowboy boots on and his little crossed legs leaned all the way back like he doesn't give a fuck, and gives terrible advice to troubled women who call in.
Well, I would imagine at this point with the feedback, and by the way, these are learning experiences, and I think I would not be surprised.
But they'll never apologize.
I would not be surprised if you get an apology out of Natalie and say this is all what it's about. Is about learning, right?
Let's make a bet.
What is the bet?
The bet is tickets to Brittany Bateman's new show.
Yes, I'll do that.
Okay.
And the reason why I'll do that, because the show's over. She did 2 nights and it ended on Saturday.
I thought it was a residency.
If it is, I will 100%. But if she does and I lose and I buy you a ticket or buy you 2 tickets, you have to give the first comments to So Bad It's Good.
Okay, yes, deal.
Okay, deal.
No, they never apologize for anything. They are never wrong. They are always right. They are never wrong. If Natalie was going to apologize, it's been almost a week now of backlash. She would have apologized by now.
This is, when I don't listen enough, but I would feel like this would be an easy thing to apologize for because it's so...
For a normal person.
It's so like, oh, I see the error of my ways.
Yep.
Because...
For a normal person, yes, not for Nick and Natalie because they are always right and everyone else is wrong.
But see, maybe that's why, I always try to focus on why somebody's successful is maybe that's what makes success is like this bullheaded determination where you never admit you're wrong. Yeah. Almost like, I hate to say it, almost like Puff Daddy, how Puff Daddy is like maintaining some like semblance of innocence, even in the midst of this 4-part 50-cent documentary that was released by Netflix this week. I was just like, there is something not admirable, but there's something very interesting on people that just keep their head down and push through and just lie, commit to the bit, and eventually you'll confuse people so much that you're like, well, is he that bad? I only saw on video where he beat the shit out of one girl, Cassie, and not realizing that he's done that his entire career,
Yeah, he's been doing it for decades and getting away with it for decades.
Exactly.
I only watched the first episode and half of the second, so I still have a lot more to go, but I had to take like breaks between watching it because it's so dark.
I finished all 4 episodes, not at once. It took me all week, and yesterday I wasn't feeling well, so I got through it. But it's like most of the information I had known already. But what they really do that's very fascinating is they really make it very You really rethink the Tupac murder, you think the Biggie murder, and you think of, and you were such a little kid when this happened, but I was pretty much getting to be an adult. And when Biggie died and he came out with the No Way Out album and did the Missing You song, which was iconic for my age, and you felt so like personally sad for Puff Daddy because this was allegedly his best friend, Biggie. And Biggie died, and it had that Sting background track, which he didn't pay for at the time. He just put it out, and then Sting sued him. So now Diddy owes him $2,000 every day for the use of that song in residuals. But he was like dancing around. It was the MTV Music Awards or something. And it's so ridiculous now. And at the time, I bought it hook, line, and sinker. I was so sad for Puff Daddy. And the documentary even points out that wasn't fucking Biggie's best friend. They had known each other for a couple of years at that point. But Diddy saw that moment as something to propel him into superstardom. He was already a star, but this put him on a different level. And yes, people are like 50 Cent. Oh, this was kind of like Bitter Betty, him producing this. But I want to point out too, he was the producer. He wasn't the documentarian. A lot of people had their hands in this. This wasn't like 50 Cent in the editing room getting the interviews. He put his name on this. There's a lot of good stuff, and there's footage that opens the first episode and is with throughout, where one of Diddy's flaws was that he was notoriously cheap, and that bit him in the ass because he didn't pay for the videographer. He hired this videographer, you guys, to follow him around a couple weeks before he went to jail, and then he never paid the videographer. So 50 Cent's team in Netflix, they bought the footage from the videographer. There was no contracts in place. So even though the cease and desist went out from Diddy's team to Netflix, they were like, this is completely legal. It was once again Diddy being cheap, which you see a pattern of even from a very young age, where he didn't pay. He did not pay any of his bad boy people.
What about his childhood friend who he started Bad Boy Records with and ended up having him give up his 25%. He was like, I have a deal. I just need that 25% back. I'll give it back to you. And had a baseball bat. He was basically threatening childhood friend. Never gave it back. He took everything from that friend that he started the record label with.
I think it's the second episode, but it's like, oh my God, it almost makes Suge Knight look better than Puff Daddy, which I never thought I would say in a million years. And, they also had claims that Diddy made Biggie's people pay for Biggie's funeral because it was becoming so big. Now, certain representatives of Biggie's team saying that is not the case. But at the same time, as the first episode opens with this footage of Diddy saying to his lawyer, we need ops. We need people out there to fight these charges. We need people out there on the streets putting out good stories about me. And it just, this is why people like our shows exist, is because we pay attention to how PR works. And just because you see 30 stories about Diddy at a food bank doesn't make him a good person. Is that you are seeing these things for a reason. You are seeing these. And once you get to the fourth episode, when they talk to two of the jurors from this trial, you will be flabbergasted because there's this one lady that is saying, I wasn't a fan of Diddy. I loved Making the Band. I loved that show and I loved a lot of his artists. But sometimes, in the trial, I would think something was crazy and I'd look at Diddy and he'd be looking at me and he thought it was crazy too. And you could see how enamored she was with celebrity. You could see how enamored she was with being in the courtroom with Sean Combs. And even though she thought she was being completely, I'm being completely fair, you could see there was this weird titillation out of being and breathing the same air as this person she grew up with. The power of celebrity is so powerful. People don't understand being in that air of celebrity. Even if you hate that person or think that person is wrong, there is still an air about it that it is, I would imagine, hard to get a fair trial if you were somebody opposing a celebrity.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Which, by the way, so to take it back, we're eventually going to have to go to trial with Nick Viall. That's what basically this whole thing led to.
Essentially, yes. Yes. Yeah, it's like, how do you select a jury, for something like that?
Because now it's like, if you spend 3+ decades with a celebrity, even if you don't think you've been influenced by them, I was watching this documentary and then I was like, oh yeah, I did used to watch Making the Band. Oh my God, Danity Kane. Oh my God, Aubrey O'Day. Or oh my God, this moment.
I thought Aubrey O'Day was the coolest, prettiest person alive. I thought she was my it girl.
Oh, I remember there was this one Diddy docuseries about him running the marathon, and he was training for a marathon, and he even went to the Nike headquarters where they tracked his gait and his run. And I remember thinking damn, this guy can do anything. What a hero. Like I bought into that Diddy persona when I was a teen. I was like, this guy, wow, he just keeps thriving. But what I will say is this guy is probably going to be pardoned next year, or if not, he'll get out in 3 years or less than. And he will be like, guys, people like that don't quit. People like that don't quit. And I don't know what that means, but he is going nowhere. And I find that really scary, but also very celebrity for 2025.
Yeah. I mean, hopefully you would like to think in an ideal world, he is blacklisted from the industry and people
Not
don't
at all.
want to work with him. Oh my, Ryan, what do you know that I don't? Is he like starring in like a Margot Robbie movie next year?
He's in Wuthering Heights, you guys. Him and Jen Shaw have come together to do the best after prison documentary.
Maximize their joint slay.
Okay, well, here's the thing, because you think normal people like us, we have shame. Like we get ashamed of things, right? And we're like, I don't know if I could face people. Diddy doesn't have shame. Diddy will face people. And by the way, part of his thing going into jail, he knew the feds were after him. So he went to New York and he literally would go into just like the streets. He would go into the streets and he would hug people and there's a great clip of him like, I fucking need Purell after hugging these people. Like, like in a car going like, oh, these are almost so less than. I need Purell. Oh, I've been hugging people all day.
Oh, shut up, Diddy. The few people that still like you in this world. Oh my God, that's so annoying. I also love, it kind of reminds me of like O.J. Simpson or like Alec Murdaugh, where it's like they're so like stuck on insisting that they are innocent. He's like, despite all of the evidence, he's going to come out and be like, we need to find the guy that did this. We need to find the guy that did these crimes.
Yeah, and this is like, well, one of the jurors said, well, it just seemed like him and Cassie, that was just a real love. It was just tortured love. It was just tortured love. And I'm like, people don't, and you can actually make a direct correlation with Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. People don't understand, like if they're lucky enough to have not experienced real trauma, they don't understand how the human mind works and the psychology behind being in bad situations and staying in bad situations and what the human mind does. And just because somebody stays, like they're like, well, she should have just gotten out of there. She could have gotten out of there. I'm like, what part of this makes you think then he had done so much wrong throughout the course of his career that you almost get confused because you can't pay attention to any one thing because there's too many things and it almost cancels each other out. It's really bizarre. But to your point, the O.J. Simpson thing, it's the exact same. Is that I remember that trial and, people were very taken with O.J. Simpson. The jurors were very taken. There was a party when O.J. Simpson got released and some of the jurors were there at the party.
I remember watching the show where Cuba Gooding Jr. plays him, the Ryan Murphy one.
That's a Ryan Murphy, yeah.
And he's at the party and he's like, cheers, guys. Now let's find the guy who did this. And everyone's like, looking at each other.
if people might have forgotten this, O.J. Simpson had a 1-800 number of 1-800, like a 1-800 find the killers, which I'm shocked O.J. didn't make it a 1-900 number just to make money from it. But he made a 1-800 number of find the killers. Guess what? He never found the killers. And guess what? He didn't try to find the killers because he was the killer. And there are still people out there that will fight me to that to this day. And there will be people, like I was already reading online of so many people going, free Puff, this is crazy. 50 Cent is a petty bitch. And I'm like, why don't we just get it? Like,
people are so scary to me.
Well, it just shows you that we do still live in a patriarchal society. We do still value celebrity and what we see and hear and grow up with more than we ever will personal stories. And just because somebody is around somebody with influence and money, we will always blame that person instead of the person with the influence and money.
Yeah. And that everything is a conspiracy theory when you're a fucking idiot.
Well, and also Puff Daddy will make everything a conspiracy theory because it makes his case stronger. If everything's a conspiracy, then nothing can be real. And all I can be is innocent. So I thought it was an interesting doc watch. I've seen a lot of his story this last year and a half, but I still thought there was very interesting things. Now, in sad news, we talked about this last week briefly. We have a breakup. Alix, Earle, and Braxton Berrios, 2-year relationship. I guess Braxton is an NFL player who had injured himself. He never made it to Dancing with the Stars to see Alix Earle dance. She's at Art Basel in Miami this week, and they did announce on Saturday that they have broken up. Sophie, you're into sports. What does this mean?
I mean, we all knew that it was that this announcement was coming. Like you said, like she just did Dancing with the Stars and he was never at any of the shows and people kept making excuses like, oh, he's a busy athlete. He's like,
Yeah,
not that
I
busy.
did. Yeah, I did that.
He's not that busy. It's like you can take a day off. Like take one day off and go for a day trip. You're rich enough, you can do a day trip. Like I didn't buy that excuse. So we knew this was coming. I think they've been broken up for a while now. I think they were broken up even pre-Dancing with the Stars. I think maybe she didn't want the breakup to overshadow her stint on Dancing with the Stars. So, yeah. I think
is he one of, like, is he like a Joe Burrow type? Is he like really famous in football?
No. So I only knew of him. I mean, it's not like I know that many athletes, honestly. I only knew of him because he was dating Sophia Culpo first. And remember, she's Olivia Culpo's sister. And allegedly there was some overlap. He cheated on Sophia with Alix. So I know him from that. Like, I don't think he's like known for football. He's known for like dating these.
He's a hot athlete.
But like, he's not even hot. He's like really small. He's really petite.
Well, it was funny. Somebody in my DMs were like, if you're going to talk to Sophie today, say go Bills. And I don't know what that means.
Oh, the Bills won, I think. I was at brunch because I like can't pay attention to the Bagels because it makes me too anxious.
Okay.
But yeah, the Bills won. Congratulations, Bills fans. Yeah. The Bengals.
You can say F off to Bills fans. It's fine.
You Bills fans.
Yeah. Which, by the way, I'm really curious. Peacock is doing this reality hot seat today where it's like a bunch of Bravo celebrities and people Bravo adjacent, where I guess they're going to talk about the Chiefs game while the Chiefs game is airing because the Chiefs game is on Peacock.
Oh, so it's like West Wilson.
Well, it's Heather Gay, Kate Chastain, Justin Sylvester, and Boston Rob. And then Wes Wilson's on the sidelines. Bronwyn Newport is doing the fashion. It's like, I don't know what but it's only for one episode. They're not going to do it every Sunday. So I don't know exactly what this is.
I don't mind this crossover of like, I think that there's this whole thing where the NFL is trying to become more for the girlies. Like it's like a big push that's been happening. Taylor, I feel like Betches they started their sports vertical not that long ago, or NFL vertical.
Yeah. So Bad It's Good is sponsored by our friends over at Mint Mobile. I use Mint Mobile and you should too. In fact, I just convinced my dad to switch to Mint Mobile because I'm not going to let big wireless and my overpriced phone bill suck the joy out of my holidays this year. Because right now, all of Mint Mobile's unlimited plans are 50% off. I can get 3, 6, or 12 months of unlimited premium wireless for $15 a month. It is their best deal of the year and it makes it really easy for me to give my expensive wireless bill the Scrooge treatment. So all Mint plans come with high-speed data and unlimited talk and text on the nation's largest 5G network. You can also bring your current phone number over to Mint, and there are no contracts and no nonsense. So turn your expensive wireless present into a huge wireless savings future by switching to Mint. Shop Mint Unlimited plans at mintmobile.com/sobad. That's mintmobile.com/sobad. Limited time offer, upfront payment of $45 for 3 months, $90 for 6 months, or $180 for 12 months. Plan required, $15 a month equivalent. Taxes and fees extra, initial plan term only, 35 gigabytes may slow when network is busy. Capable device required. Availability, speed, and coverage varies. See mintmobile.com.
So I think it's like this big push that's happening, but for some reason I got so irrationally annoyed when Wes Wilson gets opportunities. He joined a successful reality show like 9 seasons in and hasn't done shit. I'm sorry. Like Wes pisses me off. You will never make me like Wes.
Dude, I can guarantee you will be hanging out with Wes Wilson in the next year and you will love him.
What do you mean?
He is the next Carl Radke.
Ryan, I do not leave my home. What do you mean I'm going to hang out with Wes?
You were just at brunch. You could have saw Wes at brunch.
You guys, you will never make me like him or Jesse Solomon. I feel like I actually got this perspective from a conversation that I had with a reality star who I won't name. And they said that, these people are joining these reality shows 9 seasons in and not even showing their real lives.
Well, now I need to know what reality star you had this conversation with. And I'm guessing that it's a reality star that does show their life, because why would they say that if they don't show their lives?
Correct. And someone that is the show has been built on their trauma and them showing their trauma. And then you have these people like Wes and Jesse who just waltz right in, get followers, and don't show shit. So
I can't believe Lindsay Hubbard would say that to you. Anyways, reality Otzi.
Lindsay, for the record, it was.
I'm very curious. And by the way, did we ever get any kind of clarification on what is going down with Amanda Batula and Kyle Cooke? Because they're posting together.
Demois posted that they're living separately. And Demois posting it because I know that a lot of these reality stars are friendly with Demois and like to control the narrative via Demois. I believe it now that Demois posted it. And I think anything they're posting now is contractually obligated brand deals. They're posting Loverboy stuff. Otherwise, like Amanda posted an Instagram story where it looks like she's in like a different apartment. She has boxes everywhere. I believe it that they are living separately, quote unquote.
Well, I'm telling you, they are going to keep this quiet until we get the first trailer for the spinoff in the city. And then you're going to see it. I can guarantee that with everything, because In the City will overlap with this season of Summer House, but then it keeps going after Summer House wraps. So you will see that because they were filming In the City right up to BravoCon, and I think there might be a couple of pickup scenes at BravoCon. So I think it's going to be, if it is true, I think it is going to be a big storyline in the City, which would make sense.
I completely agree. I also don't think that it's just for PR for the show. I think that it helps that it's happening in conjunction with the show premiering soon, but I think that it's actually real. Like, I'm not surprised that it's I mean, none of us are really super surprised.
It is, but you know, I'm such a weird softie where I'm like, oh man, I hope it's not.
Yeah.
I hope it's not real.
I think it's sad. They clearly, you know, they wanted this to work extremely badly, but I think they have been shoehorning the relationship to fit when it clearly doesn't for a really long time.
Yeah. Okay, more Bravo. What did you think of Southern Charm this week? And
I'm loving Southern Charm this season.
It's there's 2 young Shep oil paintings. I'm trying to buy one of them, but like what an amazing piece of artwork that is. And Craig and Austin going at each other. But I will say, Austin did come off like a little bitch. I mean, Craig's a little bitch too, but Austin did come off like a little bitch at the end.
They both did, because Austin, you were implying that you were jealous that Craig is single.
100%.
It also shouldn't bother Craig that much. Like, why do you care? Like,
but that's what's so great about Craig is he'll always care.
He's so reactive, and I love how like the more people didn't realize what his costume was, he was like unraveling.
He goes, but I also love that he was like, it's like his way of flirting with the girls. Like you're on a sandbox. He goes, "Do you like to read, Rufio? You should know this." And Rufio's not even in the fucking book. It's in the fucking movie. Rufio's not in like like he goes, Rufio, Lost Boys. He was like so like pushing these girls about it. And I loved it so much. I think it's great. I love the new guy, Whitner. Rebecca's all horned up for Whitner.
Oh my God, Rebecca's horned up for I can't say the same thing, but yeah, I mean, I don't mind him.
Let's say, wait, which man, I guess, or woman would you, if you were not married, would you consider hooking up with?
On Southern Charm?
Yeah, no, in life. Yes, in Southern Charm.
On Southern Charm, I mean, all of the women are like stunning. So like any of the women, honestly, and then out of the men, I've always had a soft spot for Austin because Austin's tall. And
oh my God, the fact that everybody says the first quality about Austin is tall. It's like, come on.
And never forget when I met him at that summer house party, and then I watch it later and he goes,
I get it.
Everyone here is so fucking ugly. He goes, there are no hot girls here. It was like right after I had a conversation with him. Never forget.
Dude, that one season, that's when I did the change.org when I was like, get Austin off Summer House because because we always have like those stupid Lost Boys summers where you're just like feeling yourself way too much and you're drunk all the time. And he was like polluting Southern Charm and Summer House. And he was playing
Lost Boys.
Yeah, Rubio. He was playing Lindsay and Sierra off of each other. And
I remember at that party, I watched him make out with both of them. Oh, TBT.
But that's, I mean, by the way, if I saw that in person, that's like, if I had the Back to the Future car, that's the shit I would do with it. I'd be like going to shit like that. I wouldn't do anything good. I would just go to like Bravo background scenes.
It's like other people with a time machine, they like go back to watch like the Declaration of Independence be signed.
Yeah, like 1776. And I'm like, 2018. That's when Scandival first broke. It was a banner day.
Oh,
I know. I would go to TomTom when Tom Sandoval dropped his phone and Ariana picked it up. That's where I would go to. And then I would be trapped in that year because I don't have enough plutonium to get back.
Yeah.
Oh, geez. Okay, and then Southern Charm, we had the premiere of Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Did you watch? Because you're like, whatever. Did you watch Beverly Hills?
I didn't. I'm only watching it for Rachel Zoe.
Which, by the way, I think Rachel Zoe was a high, a good part of this because I thought it was interesting her talking about Roger, her soon-to-be ex-husband, and her child talking about his dad. I thought that was fascinating. But Erika Jayne, what are we doing, Erika? Like, what are we doing?
Erika Jayne needs to
go.
Like, she needs to go. And I mean, I didn't watch last season. I'm trying to think if I watched the season. I think
you watched a little. You watched a little, I remember.
Yeah, I think I gave up the season before that because it just has not been good in years. And literally, if it weren't for Rachel Zoe, I wouldn't even try because I'm so sick of Erika. I'm honestly like, I know Dorit is like trying to like bring it. And am interested in Dorit's like post-divorce storyline. But overall, it's like, it's just so blah and like so overly produced. And just
when it's not real, because I don't
Dorit,
why the fuck are you buying Bose a $2,000 scarf? Like I'm sorry. Like that's just dumb. If you are going through a divorce, like I do worry about these people and their money, and Erika washing her Porsche in high heels. It is so fucking fake. And it's like, I call it the selling sunsetification of reality TV, where they're doing more and more of these slow-mo things that are so unbelievable that we don't need. I would rather see your real life. And Erika talking about how she thought Tom Girardi, I was hoping he would die before prison, but I guess not. Like, she is very lucky to be where she's at, but there is not one iota of sympathy I extend towards that woman. And she can't even make hooking up with Jesse Solomon seem interesting.
No, literally nothing about her is interesting or worthy of watching.
And do you also notice that it was like, well, Garcelle's gone. I guess she was the main problem. Now everything's cool. Like, it was all of a sudden, like, I guess Garcelle was the bad seed, and now we can all be friends again. That was dumb as hell.
And Garcelle is still, like, they're still talking about her.
That's what I'm saying. It's so bizarre to me that they're like, they found one person to blame things on. And obviously that's not the root of any issue for these ladies, except that Garcelle had some of their numbers and they were uncomfortable with it. What did you think of Vanderpump Rules premiere?
So I'm hopeful about it. I told you, like, I am going to give it a chance. I'm not going to write it off. I feel like I would feel this way about any new group of people that are like supposed to take over for our favorite servers. Like, I don't know. Like, I don't think it's anything necessarily that they did wrong. I just am not into it yet. I didn't love it. It was a little just boring to me. I will say that something that I don't like about this group of people is that they are all obsessed with, they talk very openly about wanting to be famous and treating this as like a big like work opportunity to be on the show.
Yeah.
It's kind of like breaking the fourth wall. And it feels so like, obviously on early Vanderpump Rules, they wanted to be famous. They wanted to be models and actors. The reality TV wasn't the path to fame at that point. It is now. So it's too like out in the open about how thirsty they all are. So in that case, I don't trust any of them are being genuine. I think that all of them are too put on for the cameras because they see this as the biggest break of their lives, you know?
Well, it almost makes me, it's interesting because I keep mentioning that one scene where the one lady goes, we're walking with less than $50 tonight in tips. And I thought that to me, because Sir is not usually a busy restaurant any longer. And I love the thought of Lisa trying to get people to work there by offering them TV stardom of like, we're not going to pay you anything, but you might be able to be on TV. And I kind of find that kind of make Lisa, every time Lisa appeared, I thought it brought the show down. No offense, Lisa. I just thought like, we don't need to be if we can get Lisa out of there, you can almost dissociate to the point where you're like, oh, this is a whole different show. It's not Vanderpump Rules. Like if we can get further and further away from that, but I do still find there that thirst I do find interesting, and I do find that the reality. I think that is the reality of Los Angeles sometimes when you're younger is now everybody thinks that they can be a TikTok star. Everybody thinks they can be an influencer. And I think there is there's a dark comedy in there somewhere. So I liked the first episode way more than I thought I would. I thought I was going to hate it. And so I don't think we really can tell until like 6 or 7 episodes in, but I definitely didn't think it was bad. You know, like I liked it. I thought there were many parts that I cracked up with, especially the second time watching it through. So we'll see.
I'm gonna keep watching it. And like I like Venus. I like, I can't remember like any of their names. There are a few that I like. So
Yeah, I know. I think I remember Natalie's name, Venus's name, and yeah, I'll remember. There's one that looks like a young bulldog. That guy that.
Yeah, like what is his name? I can't remember.
Yeah, I gotta get flashcards or something. You know.
Yeah. Oh, Shane was the one that we met when we went to.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like the one that's like so like hot. Like they're like, oh my god, it's Shane. I can't believe Shane's here.
Oh, he's the sober one too, right?
The blonde, blue eyes. Is he
Yeah,
sober?
I think he's sober, if I'm not
I
mistaken.
I must have missed that. Okay, good.
Well, it's because you were hammered when you met him.
No,
I'm joking.
But like, did they talk about that on the show?
Or maybe that was his character bio, because I remember reading some character bio and it said this person was sober. Who knows?
I definitely could have missed it when I was watching it. So
okay, and then finally on Bravo, we had Beverly Hills, we have Married to Medicine back, we have Potomac, Salt Lake City. They filmed the reunion on Friday, and Brittany Bateman. Or they filmed the reunion on Thursday. Brittany Bateman did her one-woman show on Friday and Saturday of this week. Now, the thing with Brittany is it's interesting. It's like Whitney. Brittany can actually sing. She's not like Lisa Barlow, where it's kind of like a fun, quirky thing to watch Lisa Barlow sing. Brittany is actually a trained singer. So I did see a bunch of clips where it like looked like it was a lot of fun. She did a song called What About Me, about being a friend of. She did a song from Wicked. Bronwyn was there. Heather, Whitney, Angie K was there. Somebody said Lisa was there, but I didn't see any photos. Meredith definitely wasn't there. And it seemed like a fun time was had by all. Did you hear anything about this?
Yeah. I mean, it looked like a good time. She didn't look like she, flopped or anything. I wouldn't.
No, I think this is her strength, is live performing.
I didn't say her singing was good necessarily, but it wasn't terrible.
Yeah, I thought it was. I mean, I think you could tell she's used to singing on tour, or in terms of that musical theater vibe. So I would be there if Rekha wasn't pregnant. I would be there in a heartbeat. And I almost got Brittany on the show to promote the live stream of this, but it just didn't come together, unfortunately. And I think I potentially scare her because she probably doesn't listen to the show and just sees the Instagram account, and those are kind of two separate things a little bit.
Yeah, right.
Come on, So Bad It's Good, Brittany. We love you. What did you think of Salt Lake this week? Because Meredith brought out piss tests, and then nobody had to take the piss test. Nobody had to take the test.
Nobody took the piss test. I mean, I'm kind of like, the season is losing steam for me.
It's still better than everything else on Bravo right now, but it really is kind of this, what are we doing? And if you don't have footage of the plane, can we drop the plane storyline? Because it's starting to, it's just an excuse to dress up in costumes. And Whitney's literally calling Meredith a pill popper and an alcoholic. There must be some real solid proof, because this show is pussyfooted around calling Meredith this for seasons now, and now we're finally saying it out. So you better have something to back it up. If not, it's going to backfire on Whitney and Heather, I think.
Yeah, I'm just so sick of Heather like lecturing people. I feel like that's all Heather does. She lectures people, and then what is her storyline?
She unloaded her marital mattress, and then she got the furniture from Wayfair, and she put things on her daughter's bed this week. So she's got huge storylines.
You're totally right. I can't believe I forgot that. So
yeah. And Bronwyn, actually, I liked Muzzy, Bronwyn's mom this week.
Muzzy, you're a doppelganger.
I'll never get Bronwyn on the show, and I love Bronwyn. I love her so much, but she even sounds like Todd. And are we ever going to get clarification on Todd farting and making out with Lisa Barlow's friend?
No, she doesn't want to talk about it. She doesn't want you to bring it up, so you better not.
That was the other thing. At the end of this episode, everybody's like, we can't talk about work. I'm like, what the fuck are we going to talk about? You guys don't get to set the rules. This isn't a democracy. You're doing this whole Boston Tea Party thing, but this is not that. You do not have a democracy. It is not everybody gets to vote. The producers get to vote, and if you don't like it, get the fuck off. Sorry.
Yeah. So it looks like next week is Greece, which I'm excited for them to go to Greece. That should be.
Oh, I was like, the musical? I was like, Sandy.
The rules are. There ain't no rules.
Yeah, we're racing for pinks. We're racing for pink. Todd's like, we're racing for pink. I can't do it. Anyways, Salt Lake City, we're headed towards, I would imagine we have 4 to 5 more episodes because they filmed the reunion this week. There were no leaks from the reunion yet, so I'm very curious how that goes. Now, switching over to movies, we got a big thing. Netflix made the winning bid to buy Warner Brothers Entertainment for $87 billion. Now, the reason you should be worried about this, folks, is because in a dwindling market of getting people into movie theater seats, Netflix has always, Ted Sarandos, who owns Netflix, he's always been a big proponent of watch it at home. It doesn't matter what you watch it on. It's about entertainment. I love Netflix so much. I will say for every Guillermo del Toro's Frankenstein, there is like a fucking Red Notice with The Rock. And like they make some of the worst movies out there that don't give a shit about the theater going experience. Yeah, slop that do well on Netflix. But we're trying, there is an artistic form to, I sound like such an asshole, but there really is.
True.
And them buying Warner Brothers is another nail in the coffin for the theater going experience. On top of there's like antitrust things that are happening. Netflix, they have a monopoly now and they shouldn't be able to do this. And I say that with love because there's so many documentaries and things I do love on Netflix. But this is another nail in the coffin of that theater going experience where it's too hard to get people to be there anyways in the first place.
Right. Is it officially like approved by the FTC? Because I do feel like it's a monopoly. Okay, so I'm hoping that it doesn't get approved. It feels like too much of a monopoly because I'm like an expert on economics and capitalism.
Yeah. Well, you know who, your friend, you know what I should reach out to your friend because I would love for her to come on. Who, that does the podcast about the companies?
Oh, Corporate Gossip.
Corporate Gossip.
Yeah.
Will you pass her information? I should reach out to her and see if she'll come on to talk Netflix.
Amazing podcast called Corporate Gossip where they break down,
she was on the podcast last year and she was excellent.
Yeah, she's great. You definitely should talk to her about this. I and just highly recommend that show. It's so funny because I posted about that show on my Instagram, just singing its praises. And she was like, oh my God, I listened to you on So Bad It's Good. Like I love that show before I even knew that she listened to us.
But, she's great.
Yeah, she's great. But yeah, I mean, I'm sad about this because I personally think, and I feel like there's been a lot of discourse about this the past day since it's been announced. I feel like the movies are the last thing in our culture that forces you to put your phone down. And we don't have enough of those anymore. And it's so funny. I was like waiting. Like I said, I went to brunch earlier and I was the first one there for once. So I was like waiting for my friends to get there to be seated. And I was looking around and everyone
on their phone.
Like, the waiting bar area was on their phones. And I was like, this is so dystopian and sad. But like, I am too. Because what am I supposed to do but be on my phone? Like, it's like sad.
Well, it was, but even me complaining about the movie going experience was that I finally watched the last Mission Impossible because it hit streaming on Paramount Plus this week. And I didn't go to the theaters to see it. And I love that franchise. I hated that last film. I thought it was garbage. But my God, I didn't make my way to the theaters to see a movie to see a franchise I loved. And even me, it's like I went and saw one battle after another, and it was such a great movie-going experience, but that's harder and harder as you get older. But even thinking about having a kid is that I want to pass on that love of, you can pass on the love of movies, but that love of being in a communal space and laughing at the same time, and it makes you feel less alone. Because when you're behind your phone, there's sometimes this antagonistic, negative energy that comes with it, because you'll say gnarly things that you would never say in person, and you almost forget about the human experience that we all share communally when you're in person together. I think it makes us kinder in a sense.
Yeah, definitely. I completely agree.
But also, this might not get approved. Is that Trump is buddies with the Ellison family, who just bought Paramount. The Skydance, they have this company Skydance. They bought Paramount, the Ellison family, and they are the ones that wanted to buy Warner Brothers. And so Trump is buddy with the Ellison family, so he might not get this approved, and it might go to the Ellison family, which would be another monopoly.
That would be another monopoly.
But it is funny is that, like, guys, it becomes less and less about us. It's not about giving us the great product at the cheapest price. It's not about that at all. It's about all of these billionaires' boy clubs, and that's it.
Friends, yeah.
It is. That is
cool.
what.
Cool. I love living in an oligarchy. How
greed is good. Greed is good. Speaking of movies, Quentin Tarantino went on a rampage this week on the Bret Easton Ellis podcast. The author Bret Easton Ellis has a podcast, and he was talking about his favorite films of the 20th century. And he said he had really strong words for Paul Dano, the actor Paul Dano. He said, Paul Dano is such a weak, uninteresting guy. I'm not saying Dano is given a non-entity performance in There Will Be Blood. I just don't care for him. I don't care for Owen Wilson. I don't care for Matthew Lillard. And so he was like going to town on Paul Dano's performance in There Will Be Blood and saying it would be his number one film of the 20th century, if not Paul Dano giving this horrible, uninteresting performance. And Matthew Lillard has come out saying it really sucks. You know, I love Tarantino. And Paul Dano, all of these celebrities this weekend have come to Paul Dano's defense.
Yeah.
Which is like, you don't even need, like, it's such a stupid, directors get to this point and Tarantino just runs at the mouth sometimes. So it's not something to take seriously. But at the same time, it is so rare because you're not usually supposed to be, like, we can be honest because we're not famous. You know what I'm saying? Like, you can talk shit about Wes Wilson if you want, you know?
Right. But he shouldn't be saying, a director should not be saying that about an actor. Like, that's so
100%.
fucking mean for no reason. Also, Paul Dano is great. Like, wasn't he was just in the Batman.
He was the Riddler in Batman.
Yeah,
he's given so many great prisoners he was great in. But There Will Be Blood, I was trying to understand. The only thing I don't like about Paul Dano's performance in There Will Be Blood is when they time jump, they don't do any old age makeup on Paul Dano's character. And to me, that always threw me off. But it's nothing about the performance. It was just about like Daniel Day-Lewis age, but Paul Dano's character, if you watch it, I always wanted to ask Paul Thomas Anderson, who I'll never talk to in my life, why he made that decision to do no old age makeup on Paul Dano at the end. I don't know.
Can I tell you a secret and you can't be mad at me?
You hooked up with Paul Dano?
Close. I've never seen There Will Be Blood.
I bet Henry has.
No, I bet you he hasn't. I've seen
more
movies than Henry.
Well, you know, like it's one of those.
Honestly,
it's a groundbreaking film. Like I saw that the weekend opened like during Christmas. I don't know how long ago it was. Daniel Day-Lewis gives one of the best performances, and it was such a departure from Paul Thomas Anderson's career at that point, who had made Magnolia. And then I think that was his next film. But it's a really great film, and it gets better and better as it goes along. But you should check it out at some point. Maybe skip past the first 30 minutes.
I remember that movie and No Country for Old Men came out. I think I was in high school, and everyone was like, "Oh my God, these two movies, they're going to win all the Oscars." And I still haven't seen either of those movies. And I know that's really weird because they're supposed to be two of the best movies of all time.
But that's what's great about movies is that they're always there for you to catch up on at some point. And Netflix, you can even re-release some of these in movie theaters.
Henry had never seen Love Actually. That's what I mean when there are so many movies he hasn't seen. He hadn't seen Love Actually, so we watched it last night.
What did he think?
Oh, loved it. I mean,
wait, can I make a suggestion?
Yeah, of course.
You and Henry should do a Love Actually recap on the Patreon.
Oh, that's not a bad idea. Okay,
just do a 30-minute movie review.
Keira Knightley's husband's friend who decides that he's in love with her, even though
it's creepy as fuck.
Wife. It is so creepy and weird. Why are we acting like that's normal?
Well, that's why every year I put those memes up where it's like Christmas time is the time to tell the truth, and he holds up those signs. But when you go back to that movie, every storyline is fucking creepy as hell. Every storyline is creepy as Alan Rickman in that. Everybody.
Secretary. Wait, what about Colin Firth? His wife is having an affair with his brother, and she goes, "Come back, big boy. I'm naked, and I want you at least 2 more times before."
It really is one of those films that on its face you're like, oh, what a good holiday film. And then you watch it and it's so sad in so many ways. Emma Thompson in that. It's heartbreaking.
Denise Richards is in it, by the way.
Oh, I forgot about that. Jeez. I got to rewatch that.
At the end, who the ugly British guy brings home. He's like, American women will love my accent. Trust me. And then he comes home with Shannon Elizabeth
God.
Denise fucking Richards. Oh.
Okay, it's something else infuriating as we start winding down here. Did you see the new podcast that got announced on Thursday?
I don't think I did.
It's called An Unlikely Affair with Lala Kent and Amber Childers. So Lala, you guys, had Amber, who is the ex-wife of Randall Emmett, who they has 2 kids with. And Lala said she was never the mistress. She was never the other woman. She now admits she was the mistress and the other woman and had Amber on her Give Them Lala podcast a couple months ago. And I listened to that and I thought it was actually, there was some really interesting parts of this. I covered it on the show in all seriousness, but now they are monetizing it and it's going to launch in January. And they were on the red carpet at Jingle Ball in Los Angeles. And Lala said, it's like, I think I'm really, I just, great. But the fact is, you lied to us for so long that it's like you will never be the reliable narrator because you've lied. This was my overall problem with Lala is that like you've managed to be this one. This is going to sound horrible. It's like what I was talking about like Puff Daddy and people of that say they make their own reality. So she told everybody that everybody was a liar, that she wasn't doing these things, and now years later. Which these things happen, but she lied about it, but now she will monetize off it. And, who knows? Maybe it'll be successful, maybe it won't. But there is something odd when it's like, this has nothing to do with Amber, but it is very kind of, I don't know. On its face, I just saw this and there was like this little eke of desperation about it where I just like, do you need, because the interview I listened to, I thought it was so good, but I'm like, you're going to make it, how are you making a podcast of this? But we'll see, I guess.
I hate her. I hate her. She's such a fucking liar. She spent so long, how long telling us that she was not a mistress, that
she fought tooth and nail. Tooth and nail.
It's like, don't listen to a word she says. She is constantly manipulating the audience. She knows exactly what she's doing, and that's why I do not want her anywhere near the Valley. Unfortunately, she's a full-time cast member for the most. I know, it's too late. Like, what were they thinking? We all hate her. Who likes Lala? Who is going to listen to this podcast? Tell me.
There must be so many people. I mean, she must be insanely. She must be insanely popular, and it's not about her beauty because obviously a beautiful woman. But
I loved Lala her first few seasons. She was like the scrappy new girl who like went up against Stassi and like the mean girls. Like I loved her. And like now I find her insufferable. She had like as soon as like she started messing with her face was perfect.
I remember when she would like post Instagram stories or TikToks when she'd be sucking out a bottle cap to like get her lips to blow up naturally. Like, do you remember that? It was like 7-8 years ago.
But I remember when she also was like posting like naked pictures on Instagram and like everyone was bullying her when she first joined Sir. She was like posting naked pictures. I loved her. I was like, yeah, good for her.
Yeah. Anyways, well, that comes in January. I think there's a sneak peek of it. If you want to check it out for yourself on the Give Them Lala podcast, there's a little promotion for you right there. And then, we didn't say this in regards to Secret Lives of Mormon Wives. Marciano is suing Demi from Secret Lives of Mormon Wives.
Yes, we forgot
because
that.
He is like, I'm not putting up with this. You're accusing me of assault and of this unwanted touch claim, and you're not going to keep dragging my name through the mud. Yeah. And whatever you think about Marciano, I think this will be very interesting. In legal docs, Marciano said their off-camera kiss was consensual, alleging the 31-year-old reframed the obviously consensual interaction as one of the sexual misconduct and then as sexual assault to create a storyline for reality TV. He went on to say that the pair kept in touch after their Italy trip, submitting alleged texts from her in the lawsuit. Furthermore, his lawsuit said that Demi shared his location with him, adding that behavior confirms a continued relationship, not a person reacting to sexual abuse. What do you think about this?
I mean, I think it's really hard to win a slander. I think it's like slander or defamation, whatever it is. I think it's really, really, really hard to win these. So the fact that he's even filing this says that he believes his side of the story. Whether, like, I feel like what it comes down to potentially is that both of them misread the situation. They both could think they were right, honestly. But he thinks he's so right that he is going to take this to a court of law. And that is hard to win. So he feels confident in his side of the story. And I think that, I don't know.
I like some of the guys of Dad Talk going, he seems like a pretty cool guy. Like, I really like Marciano.
I think he also was like waiting to see if she like walked it back at the reunion, but she doubled down.
Doubled down.
That's when he was like, yeah, I'm gonna, put an end to this, I guess.
What is coming up on Snark Bait this week? We got Tuesday's episode, which you can continue to hear the Nick Viall story, plus many more.
Lots of ranting. And then we continue Dark Energy Tuesday on Wednesday on the Patreon because we had so many things to talk about. And then Thursday, we're doing a classic New York City influencer deep dive. So, keep an eye out.
There's so many. What was that influencer that got fucking tackled this week in regards to like her complaining about her reach. And I forgot who it was. Rebecca was explaining it.
Jaclyn Hill.
That was it. Jaclyn Hill. And I was like, yeah, maybe we're done with influencers that brag about money so much. Yep. So all that is coming up on Snarkbait. Go subscribe to their Patreon. And I want to give a special shout out. I'm going to start promoting this every day. Counting Crows documentary. Have You Seen Me Lately? HBO Max. It is coming on the 18th. They made a whole documentary. I got to watch it on Friday, and that's my favorite band, and I'm in love with Counting Crows for so long, and it was very, very interesting. I want all of you to watch it on the 18th, and you might be hearing people affiliated with this documentary on the show, because I'll keep yelling about it because I have a show, and it's pop culture, and I love this band so much. So take that. It is a long December. Ha. And what else? Anything else coming up this week? I've just got to throw in a plug. Ha ha.
That's about it. That's
okay. Well, off to this baby class on how to raise a baby, I guess.
Fun.
Okay. Bye, guys. Have a great week.
Bye.